If you've done a dissertation, you can build a business. In the next 10 minutes, I'll be sharing with you one of the many strategies I learned while I was doing my dissertation that I'm applying to my business that is allowing me to grow my business. Please like and share this video if you get value from it. Hi y'all, I'm Dr. P. I'm a business coach and I've been a school psychologist in K-12 schools for about 10 years. And I also, along the way, I was able to complete my doctorate in general psychology through Grand Canyon University. This is not a pitch for the university. I was just sharing a little information about me. And by the way, I will not be going over the details of my dissertation with you in this video. That's not the purpose of it. The purpose of this video is to share with you a strategy that I used while I was doing my dissertation that I'm using and allowing me to grow my business. Because I find it to be very helpful, so I just wanted to be able to share it with others. Because sometimes we tend to forget some of the strategies that worked for us in the past, and we don't realize how we can just duplicate those strategies to apply to something new that you're doing. Because being in special education as a school psychologist, one of the many things that I learned during being a school psychologist is that when a child has deficits, we want to be able to teach them the skills that they can duplicate for similar situations and scenarios in the future so that they can go on to be successful, right? So it got me to thinking in my business, what strategies do I need to be using so that I could continue to be successful? Then I started thinking about things I've accomplished in the past, right? So I'm thinking about those things and I'm like, what did I do that allowed me to be successful? One of those big things was my dissertation. That thing was a beast. It was so much. If you've ever done a dissertation, seriously, you can build a business, because with dissertations, you do tons of research. You're revising your goals. You face so much criticism and you get help and you survive it, because then you're able to implement your actual research plan. You get the results and then it's all over, right? It sounds simple, but it really isn't, because that process can be anywhere from 2 to 3 years. For some people, it's even a 4-year journey to get from start to finish. So then what do you think when you start a business? You can just wake up one day and then the next day it takes off and it's successful. It doesn't work like that. We do need to be using strategies so that we can be successful. And like I said, I want to be able to share one of those strategies with you in this video, because like I said, I find it to be helpful and I share it with others and they find it to be helpful as well, because we do need to have strategies to be able to duplicate it. And when you're looking at building a team, you want to be able to share with your team some strategies that you've used that are successful, that they can use to be successful. Because when you grow your team, you're growing your business as well. You're growing the individuals in your team, you're helping them grow their businesses, and then you're growing your business as well. So this is why I want to share this one strategy with you. Because like I said, when you're doing that dissertation, you sit and you do so much research. You have your topic and you're going over this, whatever your topic is, you're looking at all these different research and you're all over the place and trying to figure out, where am I going to start? What is the first thing I'm going to do? And if you're like me, I sat down and I had a plan, wrote it all up, came up with my 10 key strategies, feeling good about myself. And I remember when I shared that with my chair, because I worked on that thing for at least a year, right? And I shared it with my chair. She took one look at it and she's like, this ain't gonna work. I'm like, what do you mean? Because I knew I put all this work in, and she was like, that's not going to work. And I'm like, what do you mean? Because I know I put a year into this and I was not about to just let it go, because that was a ton of work, ton of reading, all this research I put in. I felt good about my 10 key strategies, and then I was told, nope, it's not going to work. So after having to deal with that, I was like, okay, fine. She did walk me through. I got a ton of criticism, but I got some good feedback as well as how I can move forward. So I was like, okay, great, let's do this. So I moved on. I was doing up my prospectus. There are different levels to a dissertation, right? So you go on to the next level, going through that, feeling, okay, I've got the concept. I can do this. I know I'm moving on. And as I'm going through the process, feeling good about what's happening, then my chair says to me, no, this isn't going to work. You've gone too far the wrong way. This isn't going to work. How are you going to measure all these things? And I started thinking about it and I was like, man, this is doable. But I had nothing to really explain why it was doable. I just thought it was going to be doable. So again, I had to listen to the criticism and look at the fact that I had spent all this time doing this research, but it wasn't going to work. But finally, it did get to a point with a plan that was doable. And I was like, yes, we could do this. Let's just get it done, right? But it isn't that simple, because even when you get to a plan that can work, that is feasible, you still actually have to execute that plan. So you have to look at what is involved in executing that plan. And you go, you sit, and you outline your plan, and everything is going great. And then you hit a snag, and you got to revise your plan. You have a goal for yourself for what you want to accomplish, but then you have to revise it because something that you didn't think about popped up in the whole situation. So that was part of the life of a dissertation. I thought I was on the right track, and then something would happen. I remember the population I was sampling, and one of the people I reached out to was like, nope, sorry, we can't participate in that. So I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? So I had to come up with a different plan and a different goal of where I wanted to go with my study. So again, I was constantly revising my goals, looking back at my plan, talking with my chair to go over this information. Because like I said, getting help does help you. Seriously, getting help helps, because you have somebody you can reach out to who can mentor you through the process. Yes, they're going to give you criticism, but they're going to help you, because sometimes we can sit and we can outline a plan. It looks good to us, but we might not actually think it through and might be overlooking certain aspects of it. So when you share it with somebody else, they can look at it and be like, hey, how are you going to actually do this? So they can help you go and really review it and focus on every single step, right? So that you can start answering questions that you didn't ask yourself. That is the beauty of having a mentor, having a coach. They can work you through the process. Because at the end of the day, you want a plan that is going to be helpful. So you've been hearing me mention the word plan several times. Think you've guessed it. The thing I wanted to share with you today is having an action plan. Having a plan helps you. A plan is your blueprint. I had a plan when I was doing my dissertation. Yes, I had to revise it several times, but it was worth it, because 2.5 years into doing this whole process, I was able to finish my dissertation, publish it, and I was able to do presentations and trainings off of it. That was great. That was awesome. So now in having a business, building a business, I realized, hey, that plan is really important, because when I sat down and I outlined a plan and I took my goals and I wrote my goals in there, and it's specific goals as well, because I've done a couple lives on the importance of writing specific goals, and it's because I learned how important having specific goals helps you in pursuing your dreams, in pursuing your goals, right? So I realized with having that plan, it helped me to outline things that I didn't necessarily sit down and think about when I was like, okay, I'm going to have a business. Because having a business and saying you're going to have a business, that's easy. But what your business is going to look like is really where all the hard work comes in. And you have to be using that plan. That plan is your blueprint. If you don't have that blueprint, you don't have that map outlined for your business, how are you going to be successful? Because it gives you the strategy that you need, the strategic plan that you need to be growing your business, to be building your business. And in writing your goals, you start to see some of the skills that you might be missing that you're going to need to get from one level to the next for your plan for your business. Because your plan for your business is not going to look the same as somebody else's plan, right? We all have different plans for our businesses. So that's why I wanted to share having an action plan for your business is important. You get to sit, you write your goals, you get to talk, revise your goals, and that part is actually key, because some people think that once you have an action plan that you have to be stuck on that plan, but it's your plan. Because look at me with my dissertation. I did my dissertation, and the first draft of it, I was told it wasn't feasible. In my mind, I thought, hey, this is doable. If that was a business, oh my God, I would have sunk that crap into the ground and be in so much debt, because there were so many things that I did not look at strategically. There were so many things that didn't go together. So yes, at the offset, when I was first told that this is not going to work, I was pissed, because I had put tons of research into it. But after I got over myself, I realized, look, this person isn't telling me this to be mean. This person was telling me this so that I can learn and I can grow. And I'm grateful that I listened, because in listening to them, I took a step back looked at what I was missing, went back to that research, and was able to find the missing links. So I'm taking those strategies that I've learned in developing my action plan for doing my dissertation, and I use them when I'm building my business, and I use them when I'm working with others, because when you have that plan, that's your foundation. And as you go through, you're going to revise that plan. In the school system, I learned schools have strategic plans. They do not revise them every year, but most schools revise them every 3 years. Why? Because the goals that you're looking at, you may not necessarily accomplish them in a year. You're looking at goals that can take a year or 2 or 3. So I learned in my dissertation having that action plan. As a school psychologist working in school districts, I learned how crucial having that plan can be to outline the next steps for a huge school district. And I even did the same thing when I was doing evaluations with students. I always had a plan for how I was going to do their evaluation, because no two students are the same. And in my business, I'm applying that same concept. This is my business. This is what I want to be focusing on. And this is how I'm going to get there. And I'm making sure that I review it. And I do have my mentors that I still work with. You know, I work with others and I still work with my mentors to help me get through what I need to get through and to make sure I'm not overlooking something. So if you got value from this, please feel free to like and share this video. Thanks so much for joining me. Remember, y'all, solutions, actions, results. Dr. P is out. Bye.